Joe's Supper Club is known for its atmosphere, but famous for its steaks.
Look at that char. Smell that smoke? Is that looking good? Is that looking good?
The man behind the steaks is Charlie Droaks, chef and legend, at least around here.
I'm the boss. I'm the boss.
This restaurant literally runs around Charlie. He gets the food out on time and gives the waiters a run for their money.
Charlie, would you put all this in straight?
Hey, no, man, no, I ain't no waiter.
You're all right.
Just jab. Tip back.
Charlie's co-workers and customers will tell you his steaks are the best anywhere. Charlie will also tell you he's a great cook, but he won't take all the credit for his success.
Real secret is that good wood, and I'm telling you, we get the best hickory in town. I ain't gonna tell you where we get it from, you understand what I'm saying? But
it's true, Charlie Droaks has a knack for food, but his real expertise is with people.
What they look like? Thanks, sir. It's all right. Ain't been up here too long. He's okay.
The public never gets to see Charlie's electric personality, but the staff at Joe's will tell you it's that personality that keeps him coming back.
I think that's what makes us so famous. Let's roll some more. All right.
This was the scene last night in Helena, Oklahoma. The James Crabtree Correctional Center was ringed by armed guards who were called in to quell a prison riot. This is a minimum security institution, but when 30 of the inmates got drunk on homemade hooch, a fight erupted that involved the entire prison. Today the prison was back to normal. Outside there was little evidence of destruction. Prison officials would not allow our cameras inside the institution, but they say the riot caused about $20,000 worth of destruction. 5 people were injured last night, 2 guards, 2 inmates, and the deputy warden. All are recovering. Investigators are now looking for the instigators of the incident.
Around 4:47 a.m. this morning, we transported 27 inmates to the Oklahoma State Reformatory in Granite. And the OSBI, of course, have initiated an investigation, and we, of course, are involved in an investigation also.
The town of Helena is also back to the regular routine. Janice Richter spent last night making sandwiches for guards. Today she was back in her grocery store working as usual. But there is still a slight sense of dread here. The Crabtree facility will soon become a medium security institution. It means a rougher crowd. And Janice's husband, Dave, who works at the prison as a pharmacist, says things could be different.
Most of my work is a lot of paperwork and things, and I do that in the evening. I'll probably change that a little bit with what happened last night.
So just about everything is back to normal here in Helena. The people are a bit more apprehensive today than they were at this time yesterday, but they know there is really nothing they can do about it. The prison is here to stay, and they also know they will have to live with the memory of last night and hope it's not a prelude of things to come. Kevin Ogle, News 4 in Helena, Oklahoma.
We have the clout of moral authority on our side. I think when we review history, we all regret that the Trail of Tears ever happened. And if we can put it in those terms, that if we don't act today, we're going to feel that we had a chance, an opportunity, and a responsibility, and we were negligent.
Which is the portion of the Department of Interior which is responsible for collecting and relinquish that responsibility. They has to make a decision. And when they do, if they don't agree with us, I really hate to characterize it as saying they weren't listening or they regenerate themselves, you know. At this time, we are very much trying to reduce the expenditures for things like land acquisition because we have a very important deficit problem to deal with. That's our #1 priority. In that atmosphere, to go forward and say, we'd like to spend additional monies to buy land to acquire for a park or a preserve would be very difficult.
You know, should we not receive responses, then we'll proceed no farther with the application. The Commission's instruction is to reject any application that has not made a response.
That'd be bad.
We believe, once again, they failed to follow their own rules. There is a significant impact on the human environment, which is the law that requires an environmental impact study. And we believe that we could be successful and hope to be successful someday at a hearing level or in the federal district court level.
One, two, three. Yes, sir.
Heavenly Father, remember the men and women that have given their lives today for their country. It's a day set aside to remember those who have died and become disabled in this country's fight to keep us free. Now let's have a moment of silence.
Increase in fatigue recently. Have you noticed any skin lesions?
Early this spring, when I first started going there, I used to take a book to read because there might be 10 people come in for 2 or 3 of us doctors to see, and there was a lot of times when I didn't have anything to do. Now with this tremendous increase, even with 3 or 4 doctors at a time, you can't walk down the hallway. It's too crowded. Even waiting for the blood to be drawn, sometimes there's 15 or 20 people standing in line at one time just to get their blood drawn.
Of the meter is about 51 cents, so it's about a penny saving per meter if we contract that portion. Makes pencil or pen notations on that card, and so instead of putting a physical mark on it.
The water is cleaner when it leaves that treatment plant than it is when it arrives in Oklahoma City. And actually we're improving their environment down there, and they should not be concerned about that in any way.
The results that came back were that many areas were basically clean, that there was no asbestos fibers really in the air, but there were some areas where there were, some small amounts of asbestos in the air.
These investigators and their research at the College of Medicine for the first 5 years is a significant.
Mostly research, but also teaches and
well, I'm sort of surprised that hoping maybe they can mud it, but that kind of pressure I don't see. And so that's where.
We have another.
The individual county commissioners were required to set up road plans 1 and 4 priorities and let the commissioners address those in the most efficient way possible. That's when the funds would be used to the greatest betterment of all.
We'll show them how to do it. I get the sense of responsibility and leadership, and you learn a lot of things, like how to survive out in the wilderness if you don't have different things.
When 9-year-old Kimberly Fuller left Oklahoma City for Pittsburgh, the girl and her family knew the trip would have to be successful. Kimberly had been having more and more trouble breathing at night due to a lung infection. The heart-lung transplant was the only thing that would give her a chance at life.
I just hope that they come up with a donor for Kimberly before long.
A donor was found, and the operation was performed successfully last week at Pittsburgh's Children's Hospital. Kimberly now has a new heart, new lungs, and a new chance. After 18 months, her family members could breathe a sigh of relief. But now a new battle has begun. The girl's body must respond to her new organs without rejecting them. And over the weekend, Kim was put back on a respirator because fluids have built up in her lungs. But one of Kim's doctors was in Oklahoma City today, and he says despite the complication, his patient is still on the road to recovery.
I think we all feel pretty good about it, but cautiously optimistic as we always are. She's doing as well, I would say, as any heart-lung transplant that we've done in the last 3.5 years.
It's important to donate organs.
Kimberly and her mother have gained national recognition over the last year and a half, searching for donors, keeping the faith, and fighting the clock. But now it's all boiled down to a simple matter of winning. And late this afternoon, Kimberly did just that. Her lungs and her spirits have strengthened, and she's now off the respirator. Doctors will continue to watch her close and hope this positive news is a sign of things to come. Kevin Ogle, News 4.
If they thought about it in advance.
Right.
Please leave us alone.
Rex, do you have any comments?
Are you relieved at all?
I personally feel that the crime was so heinous that death penalty was the only just penalty, but in some ways it's academic because Rex Moore will die in prison anyway. Under our present system, I doubt very seriously that he ever lives to get out of prison.
They were brought in by the carload, nearly 24 women and 2 men. The arrests weren't made on lonely street corners, but in houses all over the city. Every few minutes, police brought in a new group of women from 6 different locations across town. This is part of a new approach to an old problem, going for groups, arresting everyone in the house.
Girls are going to have to quit covering up their faces. They're forgetting to take off their jewelry.
Police are taking a new approach to an old law. The law says anyone found in a place where prostitution is suspected can be arrested. This is the first time police have staged a raid like this.
It's not a new statute. It's one that we were aware of, but we were not aware of all of the different ways that the statute applied to the conditions that we face whenever we're out here involved in the investigations of the prostitution business.
Most of these women have been arrested on prostitution charges before. Many will be arrested again.
It's a widespread problem. We have a number of houses of prostitution. We have an abundance of girls that work the street in several different areas in Oklahoma City. The number of businesses that we have here, they seem to change hands, and different people seem to control them from time to time. However, the same people seem to run around year after year.
Police say the large-scale raids will continue as they try to shut down houses of prostitution in the city. They hope their new approach will slow the illegal business down. Peter Mays, News 4.
Turkey, stuffing, pumpkin pie.
Sorry, Al, it may be the day before Thanksgiving, but you're getting hamburger and beans, salad, fruit, and a peanut butter cookie. On this day before school recess for Thanksgiving, why the unholiday-like feast?
77 cents a pound for turkey. It's too high, so we don't have turkey for today.
That's right, Trang. Because of cutbacks in federal commodity programs, the USDA has suspended turkey purchases for you at Edgemere Elementary School and most others around the state. So what did all the kids think about not having the traditional dinner?
We're having turkey tomorrow anyway.
So it doesn't matter to you? Nicely said, Donnie. That was the consensus of a lot of kids today, including your principal.
The children eat just about anything that we have, and it's, in a sense, tradition and so forth, but they'll have turkey at home.
And when you think about it, what is the real meaning of Thanksgiving anyway?
Having good food and thanking God for giving it to us.
Megan's words say it all. As for Mr. Turkey, well, perhaps he'll make a big comeback next year. Ann Nyberg, News 4.
You got some substances back?
Well, go ahead, pour it on there. Pour it on there. This is my third year.
Why do you do it?
Because there's a lot of people that have a lot less than I have, and I've got plenty to eat, a place to sleep, and the people that we feed don't have that. So I do it because I want to.
Hi there.
Last night's freezing rain combined with temperatures in the teens made Oklahoma City roads treacherous. Police and ambulance crews spent much of the morning running from accident to accident. Along this short stretch of the Broadway extension, more than half a dozen cars were victims of the icy conditions, and the situation was not much better on many other roads. Because many roads remained dangerous throughout the day, city trucks kept coming in for refills of salt to put down on the roads and intersections. The temperatures were so cold that some of these trucks froze up, and that delayed getting some streets taken care of. And officials here are expecting another round of cold temperatures and icy conditions tonight.
Well, from the way I look right now, it's probably going to be worse tonight. From what I understand, the temperatures will be down around -8 degrees tonight, so it will be worse.
So some of the stuff that's starting to thaw now will just refreeze?
Yes, that's right. It will refreeze, and it will, as I forestated, it will be twice as dangerous tonight. And we ask the motorists if they don't have to drive, please stay at home.
How'd you do on those 2 calls?
I'm on them right now. I've had a truck broke down, but we're after them right now.
Nearly as busy were the people at Wrecker Services and AAA. This first cold spell of the year meant a lot of stuck cars and dead batteries. For a while, the streets were so icy that it was difficult getting wreckers to some locations.
They still lane 2?
Temperatures in the teens are expected again tonight, meaning the roads will be treacherous during rush hour tomorrow morning. Officials say allow more time to get to work because there will be plenty of ice on the road, and that means there'll be plenty of accidents. Jeff Fowler, News 4, Northwest Oklahoma City.
Gentlemen, you can just get back out of the way to move him up.
Me too. I enjoyed it. Did you get it? And then one of the other editorials did the thing.
It is such a complex issue. It's not an easy case of one individual versus another individual. There are many plaintiffs and there are many defendants, so a lot of discovery work, a lot of interviewing work, a lot of digging for information needs to be done before we're ready to file an answer. We're working on it. We have been, but we're just not ready yet.
This is a very important scientific advance, though, because this, in my mind, is one of the first times where immunotherapy has been definitively shown to be effective. Chemotherapy has been shown to be effective for a long time, right? But immunotherapy this is a very major breakthrough in modulating the immune system, and that's the significance of this work.
By opening time this morning, nearly 100 depositors had gathered outside the bank. Many of them had been stranded without money when farmers and merchants closed last week.
Did you get all your money, Lee?
Slowly, a few at a time, customers were let into the bank to get at their accounts. As the line grew longer, the weather grew colder. Still, the people were patient.
They seem like they're all in good humor. They're laughing, joking, going on. A lot better than what I thought it would be. And it's the cold that they, you know, trying to keep warm.
Nothing to get mad about. Just have to sweat it out and wait in line. Hope it don't snow before we get in.
I mean, I don't know if I can trust anybody else.
Oh, well, bless your heart.
This really breaks my heart.
Ours too, believe you me.
Inside the bank, officials from the FDIC calculated how much depositors had coming to them. Every type of account is being closed. Customers are paid with checks from the FDIC. The atmosphere was all business, but people who've always thought of the bank as a community landmark are saddened that it's gone.
It just feels like a part of me has kind of died. It's going to be kind of hard to go to a different bank with people I don't know. And they know me. I never had to show ID or anything. I'm just kind of miss the personal bit of it.
The payout will continue until all depositors have gotten their money. Over the next few weeks, the lines will grow shorter. But few will forget the past few days and the failure of what used to be a town institution. Peter Mays, News 4 in Hennessey.
We have been told that if we had not stepped in and given the money, that they would have not made the trips. The case would not have been closed or possibly not closed as quickly as it was.